Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Chris Grosser. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's all we ask. Spend that time creating your opportunities. They don't just happen. You don't just become a market expert, a charting master overnight. You spend the time that is needed. And all we ask you is 10 to 15 minutes each and every day learning the nuances of following price movement. That's all we're doing. For those of you who are the Patreon members and you've got your 10 weekly vertical crossovers up, your 10 weekly vertical crossovers down, I hope you did the work before the close of the market on Friday and you picked out a couple, maybe 3 that you practice traded, that you backtracked first, you set your profit and loss bands, and then if things were setting up right, all the charts all the time, you entered a practice trade. You're only going to perform the way you practice. And if you end up being untrained and you go out and attempt at some point to throw real money in the market, you might as well go to Vegas. The hotels are nice there. It's warm. There are pools to swim in. If you're going to go lose money, at least do it in a beautiful place out of town. But please, 10 to 15 minutes a day, that's all we ask. Let's jump into these charts. We look at stocks, they're up for the day, bonds down, gold up, Bitcoin down. Let's start with the S&P 500. Nice green up candle. Remember that weekly vertical crossover last week? Well, it is serving us well, is it not? We jumped in somewhere around the 407 point. How high did we get this week? 417, up about $10. So that's good. Price percent oscillator pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillator heading up. 2-day chart just moving right up. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 days of just rocketing up movement. Quite nice. Derivative oscillator heading up. Price percent oscillator half-day chart. Nice little trend line there. 2 days connected well. We also had a bunch of days prior to that. Looks like at the end of the day, we saw the price percent oscillator slowly pull away from the red signal line. It had been laminated for a day or so, and the derivative oscillator gaining a little upward momentum. So that looks good. Hope you set your profit and loss bands. You'll take profits at the appropriate point. You won't just stay in forever and lose everything. How do you set those profit and loss bands? Well, my friends, first you take that training. I'm going to put that for you at the end of today's training. And for subscribers, and remember, that's free at chartingwealth.com. Just go sign up. We are putting out for you, do not allow the complexity of charting to scare you away. Great training. Highly recommend it. Take it over the weekend. Now let's move from the S&P 500 to the Nasdaq 100. Did we have a crossover? We did not. We didn't announce it. Didn't really think it was going to happen. Didn't happen. So we didn't have a weekly vertical crossover at the end of the week. Maybe next week. Maybe all this falls apart. Price percent oscillator, just not enough energy to cross over yet. And you know what? You don't have to get greedy and stupid. You can let the charts lead you. You can follow the rules. Why? Because they almost always work. What makes it exciting is they don't always work. If they always worked, what would the market be about? It would not be about anything. It wouldn't function. That's why we have to train, practice, cut losses when things don't work right. Think about it. There's no foolproof method. If there was, someone would run the tables. You got it? That's why it takes practice. It takes steely nerves. It takes, again, time under, or I guess you'd say what, water under the keel, perhaps. Mileage, as one of my skiing instructors once told me. So what do we see going on? Derivative oscillator losing momentum. Price percent oscillator still negative, heading up, close to crossing over. On the 2-day chart, derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Price percent oscillator heading up. Price moving right up that 2-day trend line. Look at the half-day chart. It's pulling away a little bit from the red signal line. Again, a little bit strange. It's just very much slowing down, you can see, in its rise on the cues. Might be the reason that we didn't see a weekly vertical crossover. Could be a warning sign there. Could be. You see also the 2-day the bottom of the 2-day candle did not stay on the line. It dropped through a little bit. That's showing you a little bit of slowing even on the 2-day chart, more reflected on the half-day. So pay attention. Let's see how things go this next week. What's up with bonds as we leave stocks down 0.78%? Bonds continue throughout the course of the week to gain some energy, not enough to cross over going up. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum, but still negative. Maybe there'll be a crossover next week. 2-day chart, nice 2-day candle. Derivative oscillator gaining a little momentum. Price percent oscillator heading up. Half-day chart, we can see where things peaked on Thursday and then dropped over down on Friday. Not enough to cross over going down on the half-day chart. Price is still above the 2-day trend line, so we'll keep an eye on things, see where bonds go. Maybe bonds are bottoming out, but what does that mean for stocks if bonds are going to start going up? Typically, money runs to bonds when, of course, the stock market is imperiled. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Look at gold. Gold heading up. Again, 2 weeks now of green up candles for gold, but not a crossover yet. Derivative oscillator losing momentum, and we see that it's still negative. Getting close, though. Maybe it's going to happen soon. I can't wait to get into an up trade in gold when that finally occurs. Who knows when? 2-day chart spiking up. Nice big green up candle ending the week. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Half-day chart. See things up in the morning, about the same in the afternoon, but running up that half-day trend line quite nicely. So again, what are we doing as the new week starts? We're watching what's happening with the S&P 500, ready to take profits. We look at the Q, see if that's going to cross over by the end of next week. We look at 20-year bonds, trying to see what's going on there. Is there going to be a crossover by the end of the week in gold? Hoping so we can jump in there. That's where we are on a big 4 charts. Hope that you filled out your weekly market worksheet. Shouldn't take you any longer to fill out than it does to listen to the program. Those worksheets, both the daily, the weekly, and the trade worksheet, are all available in your show notes for subscribers. We send them out every single day. There's a PDF there. You can print it out. We also have a spiral-bound 3-month version for sale. You get a discount if you buy a year's worth. Check that out in the show notes along with our book. An autographed copy is waiting for you. Sent a bunch of them out today. We appreciate all the support. And of course, most of all, appreciate our Patreon supporters. Now, let's go to Bitcoin. Down for the day, 2.1. Is that 19 and yes, 10%, 2.10%. We see the price percent oscillator still negative on the weekly chart, heading down. Derivative oscillator is still gaining downward momentum. We did hit a higher high this week, up to $63,000, pushed through the $60,000 mark, which is about where it is at the close of the market on Friday. But again, still have that overhang of negativity. We see on the 2-day also that overhang of negativity hasn't crossed over going up. The derivative oscillator did, but the price percent oscillator is still negative. We look where price has been about the same spot here now going on 4 days. Half day, that's where we see the real deceleration. As we look really closer, we can see where things topped out there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then really started rolling over Thursday, Friday. So we did have a crossover going down on the half-day chart. So we'll continue to watch, plot Bitcoin. Hope that you are, ready to do practice trades on Bitcoin. If you're interested in it, you need to follow it each and every day as we do. We have been doing here lately for you. We're not going to follow it forever, but we want you to learn how to follow it. And the only way you're going to learn how to trade it is to practice trade it. So be standing by, ready, willing, and able to fill out that trade worksheet and practice trade Bitcoin when it offers itself up to you. That is where we are at the end of the day. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.